Hello tech friends, another digital organizer. This one's pretty nice. It's the Sharp ZQ-4350. And we've got this nice little hard to open clamshell design, you could say. In here is a little serial port for connecting it to a computer. And we've got 3 CR2032 batteries in here, 2 for sort of regular power, and then you've got a backup one as well. And there's a little label on here for someone to say when the memory backup battery was installed, so you don't end up, leaving it too long, I guess. This has been a bit tricky to get running, but I'm pleased to say it currently is working correctly. It was coming up with something strange on the screen, but maybe I hadn't reset it properly. Anyway, hopefully it will work for the rest of the video. Let's just have a little look inside. Now, this is a bit different to some of the other ones I've shown. We've got a nice big QWERTY keyboard there. Got all these are all rubber buttons, but they're pretty nice to press on. And we've got the numeric input in a different area, kind of like a regular PC keyboard. So let's turn it on and see if it's going to behave. Okay, moment of truth. Let's turn this on. Hey, it's worked. That's great. Okay, will it hold out for the next 20 minutes? Let's find out. We can press the backlight button. Look how nice and clear that is. It won't stay on though. It'll switch off after a few seconds of inactivity, so we'll have to keep moving around. So yes, here's your basic calendar view. We can move backwards and forwards through the years. In fact, if I hold it down, I think if I hold it down, as long as I move, there we go. Okay, I think that will probably keep it on for a little bit longer. So we've got the months. We can see what day of the year we're through here. But 1996, that's no good. We're in the past. If we press CCE at the top, we can leap forward to the correct date, which is the 19th of the 3rd, 2023. And then we press calendar, and look, here we are. It says 23 up here, so that's the year. So it's showing us the correct year. Right, let's see how we can view and add an item. If we go into our schedule, Sunday, 19th of March, it's asking me what the time is. Is this to add one, do you think? Is there an insert button? There is, but it doesn't seem to do it. Sharp input design in terms of the UI and how you enter things and this is a lot of the Sharp ones from this sort of period are pretty tricky to get the hang of. Let's put in 1900 to 7 p.m. Yeah, that's kind of what I said. To 2000. Okay. And what are we doing? Let's put a description in. Working in terrible. Can I just go back? Yes, in the ice. Keep having to put the the backlight back on. Ice cream factory. Just got an hour shift to do tonight. You know, you've got to keep your hand in as a rocket lolly scientist. Stored. That's great. And then if I go back to the calendar, I think, is it showing on there? 19th, where is it? It's flashing, yes, and there's a tiny little icon you can see next to the day to indicate that there's something to do on that day. And if I click on schedule, then it'll come up. So that one's pretty straightforward. What about anniversaries though? Day, month, that's how I like to have them. So this will be a recurring thing that happens every year. Let's say the 28th of May. And should we add a description? Yeah, why not? Cheese roll. It's close enough. The cheese roll in Gloucestershire happens on the second bank holiday in May, so it's around that time. Notice of that. Notice of on that day before 7 days. It's confusing entry, isn't it? Before 7 days. I want to know 7 days before it happens that the cheese roll is going to happen. So that's the 28th of May. If I scroll down to May, does it show in there? Yes, look, it's coloured the day in. So it's got a black background and white text. So there we go. So we can add anniversaries to do. What must we remember to do? It's normally to do with cleaning, isn't it? Well, it's because it's the weekend and you've got to clean things. Let's clean the bath. What happened in the bath? Just regular use. But the priority is high. Oh, can I press high? H for high? Priority H. I think it's probably like alphabetical or something like that. That's probably the way to do that. That's our to-do list. We've got our telephone directory, of course. Right, we should add someone's name, shouldn't we? Who do we not hear from enough? Our friend Dan. And then can I just put a telephone number in? Is it as simple as that? Let's put a number in here. One day I'm going to accidentally enter a real person's telephone number. Oh, now it's asking me for the number. That must have been their full name. Let's just put that in. Yes, don't contact anyone on these numbers, just on the off chance. I mean, I might get contacted by this chap, Dan, mightn't I? There he is. Dan, if you're out there, I hope you're doing well. Okay, let's just go back to the telephone directory, and then I presume I can cycle through them if I add people. So let's add another one, Max Power, and we hit enter. There we go. Okay, I'm getting the hang of this now. 999. He's more of a kind of emergency contact. He lives in the hut. What kind of hut? Pizza Hut? Yeah, why not? So then we can cycle through them. If I go back to the telephone directory, have to keep putting the light back on. I hope that isn't too annoying. Yeah, there we go. So we're using these buttons, which are like page up and page down. And incidentally, you can do cycling through the months by that kind of method, or you can cycle through the individual days, moving around the calendar, using the cursor keys. It's got a really nice feel to it. It's not too cramped. I mean, you're 2-finger typing. You're doing the old 2-finger wiggle. But and maybe using the thumb for numeric entry. Beep, bop, beepity, bop, bop, beep. Can you hear that beep as well? It does keep beeping. I think you can turn that off. And you might want to, if you want to do something secret. Memo. We got a title of a memo. Well, we'll just call it Memo 1, because we're not being too fancy. And can I then edit said memo? Yeah, I think I probably can. Fuel rocket ship. Must remember to do that. Very important, otherwise nobody's leaving the Earth today. Okay, that's stored. And then if I click on memo, can I cycle through them? Yeah, there we go. So we've got the list of one that we've got there. Okay, what else have we got? Expenses. Well, we've got to record our expenses, haven't we? Wow, from 1996. I'd have only been 16 years old. I wonder what expenses I'd have had at the time. Probably to purchase a magazine, I would think. Hey, nothing weird. We're gonna charge it to my Visa card, and the description is it's a copy of PC Zone magazine. All right. See, told you there was nothing weird about it. I would have spent my pocket money on that back in the day. Right. Let's see what else we've got on here. So that was expensive. We've got the clock, and we've obviously got the world clock view, and we can cycle through different places, I suspect. Can I do that? It doesn't look like I can. Let me just find... There's obviously a magic button. Hold on. So apparently there's a world button. Let's all have a little bit of a hunt for the button that says world. Of course, I'm actually using a manual. I couldn't find the exact manual for this one online. So I'm using one from like the version before. So maybe the world doesn't exist. Well, what an interesting thought. And what if I press second function and clock? We'll go to 2 for the world clock. Here we are. Now, can we go through different places? Yes, we can. Hey, it's working. Okay, right. Rio, 2:35 a.m. on Monday, the 1st of January, 1996. I have tried to set the date. Caracas. Well, that's easy for you to say. New York, Chicago, Denver. There's so many American ones, aren't there? What about if we get to the more exotic places in the world? Hong Kong, Bangkok, Dakar, Delhi. Always a risk that I'm going to come across one that I cannot pronounce. We've got a lovely little world logo there, and the display is nice and clear and bright, you know, making the most of that. Not many line display. How many line display have we actually got here? It is 4 lines, 20 graphic characters and a status line. What does it say actually? What was this? 4350. It says it's got a blue backlight, but this is green by anyone's measure. Right, onto the calculator. Let's see. Oh, look, we've got a lovely calculator icon there. I love these icons. Someone has to go to the effort of drawing these things out. I think that's great. Let's do the old sums. Yeah, seems good to me. Seems to work. And also, I think it's got an incremental counter. Let me just... Yeah, 1 + 1 =... Keep tapping that. So we're in the calculator, but if I tap calculate again, we dive over into conversion mode. And I got this on here. Fahrenheit, it does all the money ones, of course it does, but this is Fahrenheit to centigrade. And if I type in 100, and then, you wouldn't know to do this, would you? But it's this A, B, and BA button. If I press A to B, it converts 100 Fahrenheit into 37 centigrade. And let's say, what is 100 centigrade to Fahrenheit? That's 212. That's a bit hot, isn't it? You probably wouldn't leave the house if it was that hot outside. There we go. That is the Sharp ZQ-4350. Thank you, Sharp ZQ-4350, for actually hanging in there long enough for me to do this video without the screen completely going black and confusing me entirely. It's quite a nice bit of kit. It's a shame there aren't any games on there, but hey, what do you expect? It's a business unit, and it's quite small and compact. Yeah, I quite like that one. Thanks for watching.